Hey everyone, Britton here, also known as Samoki Dude, and I am back doing this. What I read in June is kind of like a wrap-up type of thing that they do on YouTube. Yeah, no, good stuff. I'm also back from vacation. I just got back yesterday. I hope everyone's July 4th was good, and also I was on vacation. That's why Britton's Hangout Hour came out a bit late. So I apologize over that. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about some of the books and comics that I covered this month. During the month of June, this last month. So yeah. First one I'm going to be discussing is, I'm going to go with the books first, and the first one I'm going to be discussing is Red Seas Under Red Skies, which is the second book of the Gentleman Bastard sequence of books. And there were some people out there who said that this book was not as good as Eliza Locke-Lamora. Well, I can tell you right now, that is pure crap, because I really enjoyed reading Red Seas Under Red Skies. A very, very good sequel to the original Lies of Locke-Lamora. Now, admittedly, my heart is still set with the Lies of Locke-Lamora, but I do think that Red Seas Under Red Skies is a very fine follow-up novel. Just as much with that Baroque style that I really enjoy of his writing style, just as much adventure, just as much character depth, and also, there's a very surprisingly touching romance in this story, but I won't spoil who it is. But yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed Red Seas Under Red Skies. A very good sequel to Lies of Locke-Lamora, though, again, I still prefer Lies of Locke-Lamora, because, that was just amazing, and this book was just very good. And that's not to take away from this book. It was very, very good. I very much enjoyed myself. And I think you guys would enjoy it too. I don't know why people said that this book was not as good as Lies of Locke-Lamora. Well, don't listen to them. I thought this book was fantastic. Second book I'm going to be talking about, which was actually the final book that I read this month, that I completed anyway, and that was Gun with Occasional Music by Jonathan Lethem. I finally got around to reading it. I've wanted to read this book for a few years now because I'm a big PKD fan, Philip K. Dick. And apparently this book kind of takes that kind of madcap, weird style of his and sort of modernizes it for the real world, for modern readers. Though I do think modern readers could enjoy Philip K. Dick just fine. But I think Lethem is a very talented writer. Very funny book. It's also a noir, so I mean, like, this is just like my catnip, as Thomas from FFF 180 would say. And rather fittingly, it says right on the bottom here, matches Chandler's style with Philip K. Dick's vision. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was very good, very tight-paced, always moving, really weird book, very funny book. There were a couple times I watched, or I would just have mental images of some of the things going on in this book, and I would just laugh, because a lot of it is really absurd. In a good way, I mean. It's really quite something. I mean, there's gangster kangaroos, there's babies that have the intelligence of adults, there's news that is literally just music, in either music that's very gloomy or music that's really positive and upbeat, and that's the news, and that's it. You can't even ask questions in this world. And that's not even the weirdest part of this book. But anyways, I do think people who enjoy weirder reads will really like Gun with Occasional Music. I know I did. I thought this was a fantastic read. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good book. I think it's well worth the read. And it's a very good first novel, because apparently this was Lethem's first published book. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was terrific. So, yeah. Gun with Occasional Music. Next book I'm going to be talking about is Razor Blade Tears, which I thought was a really good summer read. And it was. S.A. Cosby. Really enjoyed Blacktop Wasteland. I have a review of it on this channel. But yeah, Razor Blade Tears was really good. A very, and fittingly enough, I read this. It's about LGBTQ stuff. And it was Pride Month last month, so I ended up reading this. And I really liked it. I thought it was a very good book. A very touching book. A very sad book. It deals with a lot of really heavy content, such as homophobia and dealing with the mistakes of the past. And much like Blacktop Wasteland, this book deals a lot with how the sins of the father often come back in some way to bite the offspring, the children. As the old saying goes, the sins of the fathers will be visited upon the sons. And, Razorblade Tears was very good. It's a very tight book. Very quick to get through. It's not too difficult to read. Prose flows very nicely. It's just a really good book. And I thought that it was very much well worth the time of reading. And I think that Razorblade Tears is really good. Though admittedly it does get a little predictable if you realize what the twist of the story is. But yeah, no, this was a good book. A lot of angst in this, but I really like angst, so, it's really good. But if you're a fan of crime fiction about morally complicated characters, then I bet Razorblade Tears will really scratch that itch for you. So, yeah. Next book I'm going to be talking about is a crime fiction classic. It is sort of a precursor to stuff like American Psycho, and that is The Killer Inside Me, which I won't be talking about too much because I already did a review on this, which I will link down below. But this was a really interesting book. I thought it kind of reminded me of when I read my friend Jason's book, A Song for the End of the World. Not quite as he's made fun of me for this, but I said it's quite opaque. But I wouldn't say this book is opaque, but I was kind of surprised by the bluntness of this book. It almost feels like a sledgehammer is being... the prose is almost like a sledgehammer that's being just smashing through the pages. And, again, I won't talk too much because I already did a full review on this. But I thought this was a very fascinating book. A very progressive book for the time. I mean, there's some stuff in this that would be considered suspect today. My dad I've kind of milked this story, but my dad's told me that my dad saw this book and he's like, is there something I should be worried about? And I said no. But I do think this book is well worth reading. I mean, there's even a blurb from the maestro of cinema himself, Stanley Kubrick. I thought this was a fantastic book. And, fantastic would be an odd term. I actually would like to read this again at some point. But I thought this was a really fascinating book. I think this was a book that was very much ahead of its time. And this is definitely a book that could come out today. And aside from some, kind of hokey words from the 50s, like dame and shit like that, this is pretty much, you could probably write this today and not have too much problems with it. I'm actually surprised he got away with it as much as he did back in his time. But, I guess it's because crime fiction wasn't taken as seriously as it is. It's taken more seriously today than it was then. So I guess that's really what I got. Next book I'm going to be covering is Joe Abercrombie's Best Served Cold. I was originally going to be taking a break from Joe Abercrombie's books after finishing Last Argument of Kings, which, as I described, was kind of like an emotional punch to the nuts. But I decided to check out Best Served Cold because they are putting out... They just announced that a movie is going to be coming out. And, I definitely have to... Now I gotta read this, so I did. I enjoyed it, though I did have some problems with it that I didn't have with the original trilogy. Definitely has a lot of the same strengths, though. Great characters, great character interaction, character voice, strong as always. There's some strange characters in this one, that's all I'll say. It was an enjoyable book. I thought it was interesting. One of the problems I had with this book is that the main character is not quite as interesting as some of, like, the side characters. But, it is what it is, and it's an Abercrombie book, so it's not going to be bad. The guy does not write bad books. But, I liked Best Served Cold. I thought it was a pretty good book, though I did have some problems with it that really kept me back from fully enjoying this experience. There are some parts that I could have done that not I could have done better, but I think he could have done better is what I meant to say. Best Served Cold, very good. Yeah, no, it's a good book. It's an Abercrombie book, and now I'm going to be taking my break from Abercrombie because, I don't want to get burned out on his work. But, yeah, Best Served Cold was pretty good. I do recommend it. I think people should go and read it as soon as possible. So, yeah, especially since the movie just got announced. So, yeah, read this. As for comics, I only read one, and it was one I said I was going to be doing a big epic reread for, and I ended up doing it. And that was of Saga. Yes, I am a part of the Saga cult. I really enjoy this comic series. I don't know how Brian K. Vaughan does it. Every series I have read from him has been either good to great. And I don't know how he does it. He manages to have this high rollicking, strange, imaginative story, but also with these characters that you just grow to really enjoy. I mean, this literally has just unbelievable characterization and the artwork. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Hold on, let me show you some more. Look, hold on. Look at this. Look at that. Fiona Staples. Genius. I mean, just unbelievable as an artist and a draftsman. It's just so good, and I finally caught up to it, to where it is now. I just got... I couldn't help myself after reading the big cliffhanger. I had to buy the new volume today, so that's what I did. And, I'm not sorry for it, by the way. But, yeah, no, no, Saga is awesome. And all of you should at least go read it. If I had, like, one comic I could recommend people to read at least once, it would probably be either Watchmen or The Sandman. But alongside that would definitely be Saga. Because Saga, like, you could read most of Saga. It's not, even though it's a long series, like, it is not long to read. You could probably knock it out in a week. It's just a wonderful series. I love it. The characters are great. The art is great. The storytelling is absolutely unbelievable. But Saga is definitely a great series that should be checked out, and I'm definitely going to cover this series. I did a really old review back a few years ago of this series, but I don't like it. It wasn't very good. I thought it was it could have been better. I'm definitely going to unlist it at some point when I get a new video up and going about it. But I'm definitely going to cover Saga again, and hopefully in a more coherent fashion than I did last time. But, yeah, no, Saga is unbelievable. If you want to read American comics, I think Saga would be a good place to start. It's unbelievable. Great characters, great story, great artwork. It's just a great series. Oh, I dropped it. Sorry, Saga. Well, it's funny. I actually picked this up at a con. This copy and a few others. Again, just an unbelievable series. I mean, it's so good. My favorite character is the Will, which might be a bit controversial if you've read Saga. But, yeah, I did read the cliffhanger the other day, and I can now see why people were really mad about it. I won't spoil, but it was a doozy. But, yeah, no, I didn't really see a lot of movies this June. My movie watching has been really bad this last year. I did see Across the Spider-Verse, which was awesome. I thought that was an awesome movie. I thought it was just fantastic. I saw The Dead Center, which is a film with Shane Carruth, one of my favorite filmmakers, who I've discussed a few times on his channel. At least his unmade films with my friend Kyle, who's also a Shane Carruth devotee. He's only acting in this movie, sadly, though he's very good. I really enjoyed it. Again, I saw Across the Spider-Verse, thought it was awesome. Excellent film. Probably my favorite of the year so far. I also watched Renfield, which was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It didn't blow me away, but, it was a lot better than I was expecting, for sure. But it was fun. It was a good time. And it definitely could have been worse. is all I'll say on the matter. It definitely could have been worse. And, yeah. Not really much else I've been doing this year, this month, and I'm definitely going to be covering some new books. There's one I'm reading that I started last month that I'm catching up on. That same thing happened with Red Sea and Red Sky. I started in May, finished in June, just kept getting distracted, but not because it was bad or anything. It's just, I just a bunch of stuff going on. I've been podcasting a lot, which is awesome. I'm got a lot of conversations on the backlog for Britain's Hangout Hour, and I'm going to be having more, so that's going to be fun. I'm very much looking forward to that. So yeah, that's basically all the stuff I read in May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.